So, what's the difference between realizing, awakening, self realization versus a regular person who has regular thoughts? The difference is when a person is self realized, he's no longer in a state. Human beings in general are in states. Well, they're in states because the mind is active. The mind and the ego are one, meaning that the ego thinks everything around it is true. In the mind of a self-realized person, the thoughts are like burnt rope. You touch them, they disintegrate. There's no attachment to thoughts. There's no attachment to the I. If you say I am, this is ego. Even if you say I am he, or I am self-realized, or I am God, these are still ego related. The trick is to understand yourself fully, that you let go of the I or the ego, and what remains is your self-realized self, meaning that it's your true state. It's your true self. It's not state. It's a stateless state. So there's no one present there to say I am realized. There's no one present there to say I am he. It's just a state of being, but there's no awareness there. Awareness and consciousness is still ego. It's knowledge. It's the purest knowledge you can find. I am, or awareness, or consciousness. You've heard many people talk about it. People who don't truly understand it say that it's the highest level. It's not the highest level. I amness is the highest level of the ego, or of knowledge, of pure knowledge. There's still ego present. Your true state is beyond the ego. There's no existence there. Meaning that for the most part, for the most time, you're not conscious of your being. You're not conscious of yourself. You're not conscious of existing. When you get interrupted or you're called upon, then you may step down. When I say step down, not in an egotistical way, but then you are in knowledge. But the realized person doesn't have knowledge in there. Knowledge is no longer present. It's still in the world. He still acts normal in the world. Still pretend. It seems like he's like a normal human being, but there's no awareness in there. Meaning there's no consciousness in there, for the most part, unless you, of course, force him to come down. But even when it comes down, the thoughts don't attach to him. He doesn't attach to the thoughts. He's free from the ego. The ego is detached. It's a stateless state. If a state is stateless, that means there's no one there to experience it. There's something beyond the mind. The mind can't comprehend it. So therefore, your mind is going to always object to it. But once you understand it and realize it, then you understand that the ego and you are quite separate. You being the self. There's no distinction between the two. The self is what allows the ego to be present. The self is what allows the world to be. The self is what allows existence to be. You are that self. So once you are there, once you realize it, you're no longer in the conscious world or the conscious mind anymore. You are free.